In this video, I'm going to show you how Java application can pull externally hosted JSON document and then it will put that into a MySQL database. So to give additional information, this is application I'm writing in terms of robotic trading, which means our Java application will keep on watch the stock market values, and based on certain algorithm it will buy some stocks and it will sell some stocks in order to make some profit. Okay, so that's the idea of the robotic trading. So I'm going to write one small component in it. So the component is that I have the list of stocks, okay, in the Angel One website. All right, and here I have my database. Okay, I have a DB here. So now we have a SpringBoot application which is a Java based, okay, which is going to pull the JSON file from here and then it will put that into the database. As you know, the stock market little bit, um, there could be some new companies can be added into the stock market. Some company may even removed from a stock market. So our goal is to keep our database always up to date with the list of stocks available in the market. We can go on. I mean, there are two exchanges in India typically. One is the NSE and another one is the BSE. So instead of going and taking one from NSE and BSE, I'm going to use one of the data available from the Angel One. Angel One Broking is one of the discounted brokerage stock exchange platform in India. So they have all the stock, I mean the stock names or stock details hosted in this URL. Okay, so they given a sample here. Now I'm going to download this JSON and convert that into a MySQL database. So because I'm putting that into the MySQL database, because I am going to do more relational, relational inner join kind of queries in order to do some real-time analytics. So the NoSQL would not be much helpful in terms of writing inner join, right? So I downloaded this file in order to analyze. Okay, when I downloaded this file alone has around 18 MB. Okay, so this is a JSON I just downloaded manually. I mean, our program is going to anyway download it, so let's not worry now. um, so I'm just going to show you what is the data structure here. So the JSON is basically an array document. Array has multiple stocks here. So if you go each stocks, it will be something like this. Okay, another way I can just put two items here just to show you our overall um, data available on the Angel One stock. Okay, so this is going to be our data structure. Okay, so now typically I need this token and symbol, of course the name. I'm not bothered about this expiry, strike, lot size, instrument. Of course I need this exchange segment. All right. So I'll be writing scheduler also in the Spring Boot, which means every day once, because that's what they said here. I mean, um, in terms of update our DB, like how many new stocks, for example, how many new companies are added or whatever the company removed from these stocks, those things will be listed. So they say that the dump is generated once every day and hence the last price not a real time. I mean, that's what they said. Let's not consider the last price, but this data you need to update once in a day. That we will write into our program, so that our program can be scheduled like once in a day. It will go and pull this data and put that into our database. Okay. So this application I've been talking about in other videos also. If you are not familiar with this particular robotic trading, please go and watch other videos. So now let's begin with the development. Okay, so this is a Spring Boot application. You all know that Spring Boot will have this kind of folder structure. I mean, these are all the folder I created. Okay, so I call this particular one is a service component. Alexa, pause. Sorry. Um, so I'm going to create the particular, the component I mentioned in this particular file. Okay, so Angel One service is something already there. I mean, maybe I can tell you something like we can even write a new class. Okay, because you wanted to really understand how to do that. Okay, Angel One data service. Okay, something like that I am writing. So it will be here. Eclipse can automatically create some necessary code, something like GitHub Copilot or something. This is the service class, so I'm adding the service annotation. All right, import the service annotation, and then we can say that um, update stocks, or another way, upset stock master. Okay, please note that this particular table is not going to own current value, the previous day close and all. It is just going to keep the number of the stock names. That's it. Okay, all right. We written a simple method. It's simply a void. Okay, even we can put it public for now. I'll tell you why. So the first step is that pull the JSON from the Angel one. Okay, so it is pretty simple. In Spring Boot, we have the, I'd say, a REST template, which is, I mean, if you are familiar with HTTP client library in Java, this is also one of the best package, I would say, from Apache library, very trusted library and superb library. It can pull the any external files easily. However, I see that the REST template is much more advanced, or it has really nice features compared to the HTTP client. So I'll be using this REST template. So I need not write from the beginning. I'll just copy paste here, because please note that all experienced developer will copy paste the code. Please feel free to copy paste the code. That's a good way to write a code. Okay, all you need to understand the business problem and solve the business problem. Let's not worry about where the code comes from. Okay, so this is a REST template I import. All right, once I imported, then here you see this is just one line. It is something like HTTP client, where it can go and pull the external data source. So from the variable, I get the object from this particular URL. Okay, so here what is our URL? According to this particular website, this is the URL. Okay, so I copy pasted the URL. And the biggest benefit of, can I wrap it? Okay, that's fine. The biggest benefit of this REST template is that we can read the JSON file as hash map or any POJO object or a domain object. Okay, I already created stock domain object in the Spring Boot. So you all know that Spring Boot will have a domain object class, in which I just created a domain. If you are not familiar with the domain object concept, please go and watch other videos from my channel or any other YouTube. So domain object is nothing but any entity, or in this simple context, this particular class is directly connection with our MySQL database. So in the database, there is a table called the stocks. Okay, in the stocks, I'm going to place, I'm going to insert the JSON documents. Okay, so in that, in this particular table, I have created ID. You all know that MySQL will have a unique ID for every row, and I have a name. The name is something like not null kind of thing, and I have a symbol. So you see that I'm correlating with this particular data. Okay. If you see here, there is a symbol and name. I mean, definitely I no need this detail for sure. So name and symbol, I need the token, of course, because that is something the angel one has. um, for like symbol, I'll copy the token. Okay, please don't type, better copy paste, whether it's a code or a variable here in this case. So again, token, varchar, I mean it's going to be a, I keep it smaller. I mean token, even it could be not 32, better to have 16, right? Because all token is always a smaller numbers. So I'm okay to have this as a string rather than a number, because this is simply a value. I mean number doesn't make any sense, so let it be a string. Okay, the token and the value, I mean these are all some additional column that I created for my robotic trading. In addition to that, I have a, sorry about the mouse, so I have a both created it and updated it column, because any database that you design, please make sure every table must have created it and updated it with the definition of created current time and update current time. Okay, that will be always useful for your analytics purpose. Okay, so we created a token, and additionally we have the exchange segment, right? So in the sense, as I told you, the stocks can be traded in both. I mean, there are many exchanges, but in India only two, NSE and PSE. So let's go and create the exchange also. Okay, here please note that exchange, and this column is exchange. All right, and because we created the new additional columns, so better you create a getter setter. Okay, so it is additional code that we need to have. So I'll click from here, so source, and let's create generate getter setter, because these are all the two new column we created. Let's add. Okay, so now you see almost all names like a name, symbol, token, exchange, value. I mean, we can leave this because anyway this has a default value. This particular one will not come from the JSON. As I told you, the created it and updated it, this value and trade value and all is required for my robotic trading. So that's what I keep these values. Okay, so these particular columns has a direct relationship with this particular names, right? Which means the REST template can automatically create this domain object, so which is nothing, I mean which is fine, right? um, so but this one, it has X segment, I mean exchange segment. However, I created a something like a exchange, right? So I mean, in order to map this EXEH segment into exchange, because since other things are very straightforward, we have something called JSON property. Okay, which is something we can put it like this, and okay, I can just, as I told you, better copy paste. So here I'm telling the Spring Boot, whenever you find a JSON with the EXEH then map it to exchange column in my database. Okay, so now we've done all the necessary domain object thing. So once we added any column, Spring Boot will automatically create the necessary column, I mean this definition in the MySQL. So we no need to open the MySQL or write any data definition language or anything. Okay, Spring Boot is really managing the database component very well. So in the future I'm going to use this token, um, this particular, I mean I'm not going to use this token, fine, but I may use the exchange, because I told you, right, there are two exchanges. If you wanted to index any particular column, please feel free to add the index. So here in this case, I'm saying I'm creating the name column. The name column to be indexed. um, the name also will be unique. Of course, in the stock market, in the stock exchanges, names will be always unique. So because it's a financial matter, right? So nobody should get confused of this name, that name and all. And the symbol will also be very unique. So that's the reason I mentioned the symbol is unique. I'm indexing the symbol column and set the unique. And also when I create the symbol here, I can even set the unique equal to true. Okay, equal to true, but that's fine. It's not necessary. This is okay for now. So once it's done, so as I told you, when it pull the data from the external URL, the best and easy method is to read the JSON as a hash map, which is hash map is really handy. You can do with any versatile purpose. But in my use case, I'm going to use, I'm going to directly convert the JSON object into the stock. I'm sorry, stock class. Here, I will say that list of stock. Okay, so I'm telling the REST template saying that you pull the JSON. As you pull, convert the, why this is not getting imported? Okay, let's do an import. Okay, and also let's import the list. What happened? Config map. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, that's fine. We will deal that. So once we read the rest, data as stock. Here we can say that stocks. Okay, keep the name very straightforward. So then stocks is a array which holds multiple stocks in it. Then I'm reading. I'm looping the stocks. I'm taking each stock from the stocks. Okay. This is another for loop. Most of the time we will be writing for I equal to 0, I less than something like that. That's the best way you can use it. But I use this as a very simple method. I can avoid one line here. Okay. So, if you are confused with this for loop, don't worry. This is typically like regular for loop, but this is little advanced for loop. So, just it will reduce one line of the code. Okay. So, and here we can, so as I told you, we read the JSON directly as a list of stocks. Okay, the stock is a domain object. Okay, so in order to save that in the template, what do we need? We need a stock repository. I think if you're a, I expect, the basic expectation here is that you are a Spring Boot developer. If you are not familiar with the Spring Boot, please, if you're a Java developer, please learn Spring Boot. Because it can really do awesome. Okay, so every domain object will have a equivalent or a corresponding repository, because a repository only gives a simple most advanced way of queries in a very simple way. Okay, so this particular class is actually interface with the MySQL table. Okay, so here what we do, let's go and auto wire this, auto wire and stock repository. I try to keep the variable always with the class and the lowercase class. Okay, auto wired, sorry, auto wired. Okay, I import the auto wire. So once it's imported, so I told you, right, we are going to pull this. Okay, let's import the list, and still I'm getting some error. Add cast. Okay, okay, it expects that, okay, because we are converting the JSON directly into the stock, it is Java is expecting the cast option. Okay, so we are telling the conversion system to carefully understand. I'm bringing the list of stock domain object. Okay, right, now we are looping. So we added a repository also, so we have a stock here, right? So please note that this is going to be going to run every day once, that I will write shortly. However, in the database, I told you the the particular symbol or particular, let's say, this particular stock maybe for many years. Okay, we need not to import the same data over and over again. We can import because maybe somebody would have renamed the name. Okay, sometimes the companies can rename their brand, right? That time the name can change, but symbol will never change. Never ever this symbol will change. Okay, so um, so that's the reason I'm saying that the symbol is very unique. Okay, in before we import, right, we need to really check, because when we pull yesterday, the stock may be already there in our database. So we are going to import or update the new, I mean, we are going to simply upset, right? Upset means if the data is not already there, it will insert, otherwise it will simply update. Okay, so how do we do? Let's take the stock using the stock repository. Let's say stock old or existing or old record. Keep the simple name, old stock. I mean old in the sense like existing stock. Then find the first by symbol. I mean, I hope you know Spring Boot. Spring Boot really, you don't need to write a lengthy of SQL queries. So we are telling the Spring Boot, hey, go and find the first item from the database um, by the symbol. The symbol is coming from this particular column. Okay, so find the first will always, I mean, the symbol is unique column. Definitely it will have only one. For no reason I wanted to get a trouble of oops or exception error. So I wanted to make sure I'm getting find first, so that this particular method will return only one even when there is a multiple for any reason. Okay, so we need to pass the stock name, right? Stock get name. So the get name will return the name from um, the new JSON we parsed here. Okay, so what do we do if the old stock is what, not equal to null, which means it is already there in the database, right? In this case, what we need to do, just set the ID of the new record we are creating from the existing record. So it will simply go and override. Okay, I hope you understand this line. So this is a new JSON based stock in which we are checking whether the same stock already exists. If it is exists, then set the database ID, otherwise it will not go and it will simply insert here. Okay, so then let's do save. When we say, just insert the save record, that's it, we almost done. Okay, so instead of here, let's type the basic um, um, documentation, which is very important. Okay, um, let's say author Saran, URL, okay, that's fine. Let's say date or description. Okay, let's assume this method will Alexa pause. Okay, I turned off my Alexa because it should only listen me when I call Alexa, but it is keep on listening my words. So be careful about it. So this method will pull. I'm sorry about this mess. Okay, this method will pull um, stock details JSON from the Angel One website. Okay, let's keep their brand identity website. And upset them into the stocks table. That's fine. Okay, so this annotation, it is more important, this structure, because if you are writing the Swagger or if you are exporting this as a documentation, you are exporting the documentation out of the code, this all will be saved in the documentation with this thing. So it is very good. Okay, all right, now assume that we done, right? Now how do we test this? Okay, how do we test this is working? Or another way, we can just go and write the scheduler, right? Okay, let's finish the scheduler also. But before writing a scheduler, it is always better to test that. But scheduler wouldn't make much longer. Okay, I have a scheduler class. Okay, here, this is a method of scheduler. You all know. Okay, so I'm going to run daily once, right? Let's go and see. Spring Boot scheduler daily once. Okay, so please make sure it's a cron expression. We shouldn't mess up with this. Okay, so they say here the cron expression is 0 0, which means the top of every hour of every day. So we don't need that. uh, every hour of every day, no. Every 10 seconds, no. Okay, every Christmas day, okay. um, So 8, 9, 10 of every day. Okay, so they given a very good example, but still, if you copy paste the code, it's okay. It's absolutely fine, but you need to make sure you test that code and you sign off. Okay, so it says that 8, 9, 10 o'clock every day. Okay, so better you copy this. Okay, and but in our case, not every hour or 8, 9, 10. I just it's okay to run. I would say 9 a.m. every day. That's fine. All right. And here, can I use the same name? I don't want to think too much. Okay. Maybe I can put a scheduler. Even I can put a, keep the name always better, unique, and more um, simple name so that everyone can easily understand. Here, what we do, so here we can auto wire the angel1 data service, right? So we are auto wiring the method or a class that we have written, and then call the upset stocks. So this particular code will run every day 9 o'clock in the morning, and it will execute this particular thing. So it is automatic. We need not worry whether it is running every day. But however, um, I mean, in a bigger system like a ERP, please make sure you are writing a proper logging and you're putting some table that when last time this particular method executed, so that sometimes the scheduler may get into deadlock. Rarely sometimes this may get into the deadlock, so it may not run. So better always write a put somewhere some entry in that another table that what was the last time the particular method got executed, so that will be in a listener. Okay, in case it is not running, somebody should be notified that this method is not executed today or something like that, some auditing purpose. That's always hygiene. So that's not the scope of this video, so I skip them. All right. um, I'm not sure why this is okay. All right, now it will run. Okay, so before going that, I told you, right, we need to write a test case. So let's work on a few minutes to write a test case. So go to the Spring Boot test folder, right? It must be under test folder, and there is a trading NSC data test, right? In that I can use the same, but this is a different class. Better I can write a new class. Okay, save as angel1 data. What is the exact class? Okay, that's fine. We can write anything, but make sure that it ends with the test, so that whenever you open this is a, I mean, when you search for something, you know very well that this is a test case. Okay, that's the only purpose. We need to keep the file name with the ends with the test, so that it is easy. For example, um, if you go and search something like stock or angel1, you will know that, okay, if this is the test, so you will be careful. This is a test case, not the actual code. Okay, so can we just call the same thing? So we run the import and all here, like just copy paste, so we need not to waste the time by typing once again. Okay, again test. Sorry, I should have copied everything, right? All right. Okay. So now we return a test case. The test case simply call the same existing method. Okay. So as long as you add the Spring Boot test annotation, it will take care of connecting the database and everything. Sometime you may be working with some kind of pure string kind of test, some kind of different test without involving any database and all. Then in that case, this particular object is not necessary. This particular annotation is not necessary. Sorry. So this is not anyway not throwing anything error. So even in this particular um, the scheduler, this throw exception is really redundant. Okay, so this test case is for our own satisfaction, but it is must. Okay, if you wanted to really logging something, let's say sysout or something, um, let's say fetch fetch or running something like that. Okay, that's okay. You wanted to really print every stock in this line, you can, but it will create a lot of garbage in your code. So just to make sure it is really running as something, for now let's do the print. Okay, just um, for this video purpose, but usually it is not required. So what I'll do, I'll go and create the necessary the generate source, and I will, so it will get printed. Okay, I'll remove the empty space, save this, close, and save here. Let's go under sysout. Let's print a stock dot to print to source and to string, right? Okay, all done. Now go to the test case. So test case, we are going to run this manually, and if this works well, then this scheduler will take care of everyday ones. So if you wanted to, again, as I told you, you wanted to really use a logging, please use, there is a biggest superb library in Spring Boot that will take care of printing, logging, and everything. That I'll cover in a separate video, how to write logging and all. So go and write and click run, and click unit test. Sorry, if you don't see this um, screen, because mine is very big screen, so you need to right click and go down. You will see the run as menu under click unit test. Okay. So the created at cannot be null, right? What about the other values? The defaults are managed well, very well. What we can do is just go and open the stock, and in this, because because the null is not allowed, better we can put a new date. Okay, let's copy, and because see, this one also, if you look at the trade value, these are all also not null, and it got some default. Okay, so even though the database definition has a default, this variable carry null, that throws an error. Okay, now let's save and go to the test case, and now run this. Okay, again run unit test. Let's see now what happens. Okay, I'm sorry, did I print or did I remove it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I think I removed the line. No problem, as long as this particular line um, doesn't throw any error in this window, it looks okay. All right, remain an error. So it says, okay, the date issue has been resolved. Now the other problem is, it says the duplicate entry IFL for the key. Okay, I really surprised, because let's go and look at the data. Okay, IFFL, it is already there. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay, okay. The name can be, it should not be duplicate for sure. However, there is some stock. The name appear to be appear to be duplicate. Okay, it's right, IFFL, IFL. Okay, IFL. So definitely the name cannot be a duplicate, but because even though the symbol is different, all right, the name sometime appear to be, so this is like NT, this is like NF. Okay, so let's see, this is a exchange of NSC, and this one is exchange of again NSC, but okay, so the name remain the same, but the symbol, okay, symbol is a unique, but name is not a unique. Then what we need to do, we need to adjust our database such that the name cannot be unique. Okay, so here let's go, and the symbol only is the unique constraint, but we are indexing the name, but it need not be unique. Okay, so let's set the false. Save this, and as you save, um, I'm not sure whether it will go on replace, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and run this. What I'll do, I'll better delete this table. Okay, this window is bigger. Drop table box. That's fine for me because Spring Boot will create anyway. This is the dev system. I'm okay with that. Let's go and run this. Okay, run this test case. Run unit test. See, this time it completes. So sorry, this take long because that's fine. When we run the test case, so this is something you understood now. Why the test case is very important. So test case really adds a lot more value. When you write a test case, you can really understand some of the runtime issues. Even though Java is really a compiler language, you understand how the runtime may bring some of the unexpected issue. In this case, I did not expect any such issue. I never know that the name can be duplicate, but it happened. So that's the reason now I am adjusting my database so that it can accept the duplicate name. But definitely symbol it will not accept because we manage the symbol very well, because we find it and we replace by the ID in the code. So that will work. And let's see whether it is inserting the data. So DSC stocks, it should have been created. Yeah, select star from stocks. Okay, super. It is already inserting. Already it is inserted 38,000 records. So it's still going. Let's go and type. Okay, it's taking too much. Okay, let's do a count. Select count star from stocks. Okay, it is 61,000. It is still not complete. 65,800. Super. Very good. Okay, 76,000. Okay, it's quite huge, right? Okay, it's still running. Then in order to do the count of how many such case, what I can do, I mean, just to ensure whether we have all records, um, let's go ahead and find this one, and count whether it is matching, right? It should be something like this, right? So, oh, this gives a plus. Sorry about that. Okay, see, in total it is a 20,000 symbols there in this particular JSON file. Let's go and find out whether it is inserted all 20,000. Oh, it's got broken. So it says something wrong. Again, it got broken. So let's go ahead and find out the save unknown source. Why there is an error? Let's find out data truncation. Okay, too long for a token. This is another error. Okay, I think we made a mistake in the stocks, right? So we created a token with the 16, but it's look like some of the token is even longer. Good, let's go and make it as a 32. Okay. Now let's run. So again, I never know it is something like that. Now run the test case and see whether the database is really changed. Okay, stocks, the token now 16. Okay, this will anyway will definitely fail, right? Let's kill this. So I mean, in a bigger ERP, we write some data changing queries, but in this case, I will remove the stocks in order to create this one. Let's see, because let's not go and modify this right now. Let's run and do the runners. Okay, let's go now. Even after deleted, the data table should be there. Okay, it is not created because it is still running. Okay, it is created, and do the count now. I mean, okay, now you see the token with the 32. That's good. Let's do the count. It's not inserted yet because it is pulling the data. So that's good. It has started inserting. According to the data, it's supposed to enter 20,000 records, right, in total. Okay, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. Super. 13, almost we are going to complete. 16,000. Okay. 19,000. Okay, 23. Oh, okay. Then I think this Eclipse is giving, am I wrong with this? It's a 20,000 result in one file, correct? So then why it is really inserting 42,000? Maybe the Eclipse is giving some wrong data. I mean, maybe it is stopping the count. Okay. Here it is something like this. Okay. So what we can do, some other way I'll try this. Okay. I don't know how easy we can go ahead and count. I think I should have some editor to tell me the exact count. Let's count this here. Okay, 38,003 and oh my god, it's too huge. 89,829. It is even more than that. Okay, it is more than that. Okay, as I scroll, I think even Chrome is not giving the exact count. Is it true? I can't believe 89,000. Oh, okay, yeah, still. So it's 89,829. It's going even 90,000. So then what's wrong with this Chrome? Let's scroll down to the end. Let's whether okay, it's almost completed. It's not running further. Maybe it is an error. Okay, it is completed successfully. So superb, all well, went well. But however, the only worry for me is that whether the count is okay. Okay, so now where can we really do the count? Okay, can I just do this find? I'm going to do a little silly way. Okay, see whether it gives a real count. Okay, I'm just going and replacing the same with this particular file. Find the symbol and replace with a symbol in the same .json. Okay, just do the replace. It still says 20,000 in one file. However, in the actual file it is 90,000. That's the reason I wonder why Chrome gives 89,000 but my database says 92 point something, where we can really get the right counter. I'm really not sure, but replace symbol by symbol. Sorry, I know this is a very silly way, but I don't, because it's a big file, no editor is really giving the right number. Even Chrome gives something, my database gives something. Let's see. Okay, fine. I think I believe my code rather these editors. Um, okay, Sublime Con. Okay, all right. So if you wanted to really rerun, and you can rerun and see this data never, the count is never changing, which means it is exactly correct. Okay, you can keep on rerun multiple times to see whether this count is matches, then it looks okay. So in order to see the value, few of the columns, okay, I'll put a limit of 10. Okay, if you don't like the G, then this is the value. All right. So now this is the way I pull the data. Please note that if you are running in a live DB, I deleted the code, right? So let's not do the delete and all. Usually in the Spring Boot, you have a method. I'll show you the another code, MySQL schema or init schema, something like that. You can have this kind of query sheet in order to really manage some of the existing databases. Like you can update something without deleting and recreating the table. That's a bad way, because it's a dev machine. I'm happy to just delete and create. So I hope you find this video useful. I mean, I know you can come up with a similar use cases where you wanted to create a huge JSON dump into your MySQL database. You can try this way. Um, you may, I mean, um, if you need a similar examples how to insert this into the MongoDB or Elasticsearch, please put that into my comment section. Then I can definitely create a video. I mean, if you really go with the MongoDB or Elasticsearch, it will be much easier because it is a NoSQL. It can accept anything. We can't find such a runtime issues at all. However, MySQL is very handy in terms of inner join relation queries, right? So if you wanted to consult with me, please feel free. Look at my channel description. You can see my calendar. You can schedule a calendar with me, and we can discuss uh, in some online session. So I would be happy to um, discuss with you some of your challenges. I can help you with the code. So please feel free to reach out. Thanks for now. Bye.